I think you might as well get to the tailors now.
Might be the biggest green jacket ever as well. Need some serious tailoring into that one, isn't it?
Hi guys, and welcome to the GolfMagic chat show. We're going to talk the Rocket Mortgage Classic, talk about Bryson basically becoming the greatest player that's ever lived, and look ahead towards the Workday Charity Open. So let's get into it. All right, lads, coming in. Let's talk about your tips from the Rocket Mortgage. How'd they do?
Well, I got very excited, Stu. Very excited. 110 to 1 shot Scott Stallings and Doc Redman at 45 to 1. I just wish we'd done some first round betting. Flew out the gate, 7 under. I was texting Jack going, this is the week. It wasn't the week, unfortunately. They faded back into the pack over the weekend. Gave us a run for money. My main pick, Tyrrell Hatton, got us some each way money, 16 to 1. Another impressive week for Tyrrell. That's 4 consecutive top 6 finishes on the PGA Tour. I think it's fair to say he is probably the most informed European player since golf's return. With the majors coming up as well, I think he's going to be liking his chances. So yeah, another great week for Tyrrell. Jack, how did you guys do?
Yeah, well, we mentioned, both of us mentioned Bryson DeChambeau. He was just such a short price that it's 6 to 1 before you don't get much return there, but he was always the man to beat. He was in such good form leading up to this event, and no surprise he's gone on to win. Patrick Reed, I really thought Patrick Reed would have a good week last week, but didn't get it going. Missed the cut, 2 under, I think it was. And Kevin Knight actually withdrew with injury, and he won't return this week. So a bit annoying there, but no, we did mention Bryson, but 6 to 1 was just too short.
Speaking of Bryson, obviously won it. Let's talk about him. What the hell is going on? He's so good now.
Incredible, isn't it? That's now a 6th career PGA Tour title, and as Jack said, really at the top of the show, it's, let's be honest, it was coming. That's now 8 consecutive top 8 finishes. He's taken his game to another level since golf's return, I believe. He's now up to world number 7. He's closing in on Rory. He's only 3 points behind him now, and with big, world ranking points coming up, you have to feel it's a matter of time until he becomes the world number 1 player. I don't know about you, Jack, but we've been thinking that for the last couple of years, but I'm really starting to believe it's going to happen now.
His golf game was always good enough to reach world number 1, because when we first said that was before he'd even started this World Cup journey. So we knew he had the potential to get there, and now he's added this crazy distance. In how he averaged 350.6 yards last week. It's the longest average distance ever by a PGA Tour winner, which is absolutely crazy. It made me laugh thinking when we was posting some stories in the first couple of rounds, showing some of his big drives, and people saying, yeah, but where's he getting him? Still hasn't won. Well, now look, he's finally done it. And people like slating his putting a lot of the time. He putted it so well last week, and he looks like he's piecing everything together. I mean, he was first in driving distance, first in strokes gained off the tee, first in strokes gained putting. That's just an absolute weapon. And now he's still got room for improvement. I don't think we're seeing the best. He's got another gear he can shift into, definitely. I think his wedge game could improve a little bit still, and once he's got that down to a tee, he could be unstoppable.
Absolutely. I think that has to be the next area he looks at. I think, he's obviously got the 1 length irons. He's done the whole, the arm lock putting. He's got a 5.5 degree driver. He's drinking 7 protein shakes a day and spending his life in the gym. There's going to be something he looks at, and we agree on that, don't we? It's his short game, and we've used the whole one length iron concept around the greens, and I find it very awkward. I mean, I know this is Bryson, and he speaks highly of this, but you want to feel slightly lower to the ground and in the bunkers, and I just don't really feel that works. I think he might have another look at that, but I think once he does, I mean, watch out. When he nails the short game, becomes a consistently solid putter, I think we're going to be looking at 4 or 5 wins a season in my eyes. I think he's that good now, but we'll have to wait and see.
He's quickly become the hot favourite now for the majors coming up in the later of the year, and you just think, who's going to stop him? McIlroy's not looking like he's in the form he was before the break. Rahm the same. So you look at that top bracket of who can win majors, and it's quite rare that someone outside the top 20 comes in and wins a major. It does happen, but you think this year you've got some hot players in form, and this guy's just at the top. And if he's going to hit that sort of distance, go around Augusta, he's going to be unstoppable, isn't he?
I think he might as well get to the tailors now. The way he's hitting it, off the tee around there. He's going to have pitching wedge 9-iron into most of those holes. It's going to be target golf. It's going to play a little bit softer.
Might be the biggest green jacket ever as well. Need some serious tailoring into that one, isn't it?
All right, so obviously we've spoken about all the good of Bryson, but we kind of got to talk about that cameraman bust up. What happened, and why was that reaction that he had?
I think it was an out of character move for Bryson. Personally, the guy was only doing his job at the end of the day. Bryson knows he's one of the best players in the world. He's typically on the PGA Tour featured groups, which cover the players' every move. It's a strange one, really. Did he feel that he could get away with it just because there weren't thousands of fans lining the fairways? I'm not sure, really. I don't really understand where it's come from. We all get frustrated out on the golf course, but he knows he should be, a role model for younger kids. Shouldn't be doing that. I think it was a spur of the moment thing that he's probably going to regret, in all honesty.
I think his main issue was this little tantrum he had in a bunker, a bit of a Sergio moment where he got a bit frustrated and smacked the sand, and the cameraman picked it up. That's the cameraman's job. And he mentioned afterwards when he was asked about it, I think it was Golf Channel asked him what happened there, and he said, I don't feel like we should be watched all the time, and especially when it's something that could damage the brand. You got to damage the brand. You're a golfer. You're a professional golfer, one of the highest paid athletes in the world. People are going to be watching you, and if you're going to act that way on the course and you don't like it, then you've got to own it. If you're going to have those moments, own it. Sergio does the same. You might get ripped for it, but he didn't care. He didn't care. He was being watched when it happened. So if you care that badly that you're being watched when you act out, then simply don't do it.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it's taken the gloss off, what is a fantastic win, 23 under par. He's in the form of his life, but a lot of people are now talking about that. And yeah, it's a shame. We don't want it to paint a bad image of our sport, but unfortunately, it does.
And I saw a few people commenting about it on Twitter, and someone said, just another Patrick Reed, and not to speak of Patrick Reed, he doesn't want that. Bryson is a nice guy. You can see he's a nice guy, and you can tell by his interview. And he said at the end when he spoke about that cameraman thing, he said, I'm a good guy. I'm actually a good guy. So he doesn't want this bad image of him. He feels like he's made a mistake. But you just got to be careful. You don't want to be looked at as the villain on the PGA Tour. Patrick Reed might own it pretty well, and he sometimes plays with advantage. But I don't think any player likes to be hated on tour. So I think he's just got to be very careful with how he acts in certain situations, and remember that he is being watched. And in the coming months, he could have thousands of fans watching him, let alone cameramen. So you just got to be a bit more careful in that sense.
Let's jump in then. Workday Charity Open tips. Who you got?
Yep.
Start with you, Andy.
Cool. Well, it's the first of back-to-back events at Muirfield Village. I guess it's a sign of the times with the coronavirus lockdown. We're off to Memorial. My first pick this week's going to be Patrick Cantley, world number 9. He's only played one event since golf's return, so he should be quite fresh for this. And in that one event, he had a tie for 11th at the Travellers. But I really like his form on this course. He won the Memorial here last year, and he also finished 4th the year before that. I think he's a very classy player. I think the wins are going to start racking up for him soon, and I think this could be the week for him. My second pick, Xander Schauffele. I've picked him a couple of times already. I just like the way he's playing. I think he's still going to be kicking himself. He didn't win the Charles Schwab, missing that tiny putt on the 17th there. Finished tied for 3rd. That was really the highlight since he's returned in his 3 tournaments back. Tied for 14th at Muirfield Village last year. Like the form, he's 16-1 this week. I think that represents solid value. So Cantley at 14-1 for me, and Schauffele at 16s.
Nice. I'm going to go with Justin Rose as my first pick, 22-1. Again, another player only like you, who I've picked before since the restart. But great record here at Muirfield. 2010 winner. Lost in a playoff in 2015, second in 2008. He's got 6 top 10s at Muirfield, so great courses pick at 22-1, and someone in pretty decent form as well since returning with a tied 3rd and a tied 14. Although he did miss the cut at the Travellers, but we can forgive him for that one. So Justin Rose 22-1. My second pick, long odds here, Ben Ans 66-1. I think could be really good value each way. He's played at Muirfield 4 times. He finished runner-up in 2018. He's also posted finishes of tied 11th, tied 17th, and tied 25th here. So not in great form since the restart at all. But I feel like if there's a course for him to start finding his form, it could be Muirfield, and at 66 to 1, I think that's really, really good value.
Like it.
Yep. So last week, obviously, we had our Puma RSG shoe giveaway. The winner has been contacted, so congratulations to you. But we have competition still live to win another pair of the Puma RSG shoes on our Instagram. So make sure you head over there now to find out how you can win. And we'll have a competition coming up on Twitter for another pair of the RSG shoes.
So many comps, Stu. So many comps. Spoiling them.
Love giving away shoes.
Spoiling them.
But yeah, so make sure you're heading over there now. Good luck. Enter, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.